Hello, Father Jay here with just some reflections. And today I'd like to take up an image. If you're familiar with St. Paul and his writings, he used to use sports image. And the sports image that he always seemed to use was a race. I have run the race. The race is there. So, race to win, etc. Racers deprive themselves of this and that so that they can win a wreath of laurels and a crown that's more permanent. Well, he uses that image because people understood it. And so I'd like to use an image today of Lent. And that image, that sports image that I'd like to use of Lent is training camp. You're familiar with the Bills. They hold a training camp every year. I think what sometimes people are unaware of is when they think of training camp, they think going out to St. John Fisher or even older to Fredonia and watching the team scrimmage. Well, yeah, that's the end of training camp. It's not the essence of training camp. When the players come together, and they have to give up a lot of their freedom. Freedom as to where they go, what they can do, how much time they have to put in, and the things that they actually have to do. Pardon me. It surprised me to learn, training camp is obviously for a team, but for a golfer in the off season, it isn't just laying around. It's not just finding some place that's warm enough and go and play golf every day. No, they have to train themselves with weight lifting, strength building, all kinds of things like that to go into the game. But I was so surprised to learn that. And so I'm getting back to Lent now. What is this training period for us? What is it about? Well, it's a training period for life. And that's what Paul was getting at too. It's a training period for us for life. And how do we train for that life? Well, this Sunday, the first reading was the 10 Commandments from the book of Exodus. All right, we all know them. They become like a trainer. Okay. Well, yeah, love the Lord your God. Don't have any false gods. Respect the name of the Lord. Keep holy the Lord's day. Don't kill. Don't steal. Don't covet. Honor thy father and mother. All of those things. Have you ever stopped to think that saying, yep, I do that, is minimalistic? We need to train with them. We need to expand on them. And that's what Christ was teaching too. It's not just enough to blankly do them. It has to come with an attitude. Why are you doing them? Because it's the law. Because I have to. Or because I want to win that crown of gold. Because I want to do it for God. And then comes the kicker that Christ always put in. Love God above all else, and your neighbor as yourself. Love. So what's this training camp of Lent all about? It's looking at our responses to what we know to be right, what we know we should be doing. What's our interior motivation? Do we do it because it's a law? Or do we do it because we have trained ourselves to love one another, to care about one another, to search for ways to go beyond the basics and really, really encompass love for our brothers and sisters? And yes, it's an annual event. because we need retuning all the time. Life can get us down. We've seen that with the COVID-19 pandemic. We've seen it with all the shutdowns we've had. We've seen it, how life can kind of drag us down. And yes, take us away from our initial, better selves. And we need this revitalization. We need the training camp. You get in there to look at it and to work, to lift the heavy weights that perhaps we have in our lives. The difficulties we have in loving other people, caring about them. Have they hurt us? Maybe. Have they been really not worth it sometimes? Perhaps. But let us look at ourselves too. Are we so dang perfect that we don't need a little bit of compassion, a little bit of forgiveness? I certainly do. And so I have to be willing to give it to others. We hear that, we say that, but stop and think. Every time we say the Lord's Prayer, we pray it. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those of others. And so, yes, take this Lenten time because it's a perfect time. All right, we struggle with it. We work at it. There's some heavy lifting to be done. But do what it takes to make you not only want to follow those 10 commandments, but to go beyond them, to get better, to care more for other people, and to act on that. Have a good Lent, everyone.